Hey guys, welcome back to Money is Blind podcast. I'm your host Prasoon, and this is the Sony ZV E10 update. This is a new mirrorless camera that I purchased to upgrade the video quality. So, as mentioned in the last episode, the camera was ordered on Thursday last week and it arrived on Saturday. But by the time the camera arrived, we had already filmed Saturday's video for YouTube channel. It took 20 minutes for us to change the configurations, the settings. And when the camera arrived, my personal assistant and my son was ready to unbox it. So we unboxed it, we changed the settings. I had watched some videos in YouTube, most of them from this channel called Think Media. We watched that video and my personal assistant was able to change the settings, mainly the video settings. We changed the shooting mode to manual exposure. When we turn it on for the first time, it will be in automatic mode. So that doesn't work well, mainly because I was using black backgrounds on Saturday. So we had to change the settings, the ISO, the aperture, the shutter speed, everything. So I was not able to do it because this camera is not accessible. There is no screen reader or any type of accessibility tools built into it. But there are a lot of buttons that we can use as blind and visually impaired persons. There is this button for on and off, which is a toggle switch. Then there are photo capture buttons, which is a shutter button. Video recording has another dedicated button. And every time we press these buttons, it comes with a very nice snapping sound. The video recording also starts with a unique sound and ends with another sound. So it'll get used to it. We will get used to it. We can change the modes from photo to video to slow motion by toggling through another button, which I was not able to use. Then there is one customizable button on the top of the camera. It is well built, but it was much smaller than what I had expected it to be. Then on the back side of the camera, there is an LCD screen, which is a 3-inch screen. It is a color screen, but it is not accessible for blind and visually impaired persons. And there is this navigation wheel which can be rotated and which also has 4 navigation keys, the up, down, left and right keys with a center button which can be used to activate the particular menu. There is a menu button on the back side of the camera. There is a function button which is in fact a shortcut of all the most used settings that we can call upon very easily. Then there are 2 more buttons. One is for viewing all the photos and videos that has been captured, just like in our camera phones. And there is a delete button. So I was not able to do it, but since my personal assistant and my son was around, we were able to change the settings and we took some shots and changed the configuration. We watched this video in YouTube and changed the settings, the aperture, the kit lens which comes with 3.5 to 5.6 aperture. So that means aperture means the size of the hole through which light enters the camera. So the smaller the number, the bigger is the hole size and large amount of light can enter the camera. And if we need a blurry background, the bokeh effect, we need a lens with smaller aperture numbers. But the kit lens, it starts at 3.5. There are other lenses like the Sigma and the Sony lenses, which has even larger aperture like 1.4, 1.8 and 2.4. But these lens needs to be purchased and most of these lenses are expensive. It starts from $300 and goes above that. Then there is shutter speed. So I usually film at 25 frames per second, even if I'm using the iPhone. So since I'm in India, we have the PAL format of videos. So that means 25 frames will be better in order to avoid all the jittering and the noises that can come up because of the variations in the light, the incandescent light that we use indoors. It is best suited for these conditions that we have in India and some European countries like UK. So there is this rule which is called the 180-degree rule, which says that the shutter speed should be double of the frame rate. So since I'm using 25 frames per second, I need to set the shutter speed at 1:50. So what is this shutter speed? It is the time, how long a photo or the subject is exposed to light. So that can be changed in the camera, and it usually goes from 1/5 to 1/2000, 4000. So usually it is best to keep the shutter speed at double the number of the frame rate. So if we are shooting slow motion videos at 120 frames per second, it will be better to keep the shutter speed at 1:240. So there's not much learning when it comes to shutter speed and frame rate, but ISO is a big thing. ISO is the amount of light. The smaller the number of the ISO, the better the quality of the image will be. Since I'm using other artificial lights, I have to adjust the ISO accordingly and try to get the image and the video with the proper exposure. So we have to experiment it today. I'm recording this podcast on Monday morning because I was not able to record it yesterday night. So my personal assistant will be coming in half an hour, and we plan adjust the settings in the camera and study a little bit more about how good quality videos can be taken using this camera. It is a very good camera. It is well built. It is small. It is compact. It is heavy. It is black in color, and it takes great videos and photographs. But it is not accessible to blind and visually impaired persons. That's the only problem that I face with this camera. And at this budget, I am really happy with the camera that I got, because I was mostly concerned with improving the quality of the videos that I'd been taking for YouTube. And I plan to film some video podcasts for moneyisblind.com. So you can expect that also in the coming months. So you can expect more updates from this camera, how I plan to change the settings and how I plan to make this more accessible for blind and visually impaired persons. Whether you should go with this camera or not, you can learn everything from the coming episodes. If you're liking what you're listening to, consider subscribing to this show. And if you can leave a good review, that will really motivate me to keep doing this 5 days a week. So on that note, I'm signing off. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. You guys take care. Bye-bye.